Hey everyone, Ben here from Keystone Bookkeepers. Today, I want to do something a little different. Instead of talking about what a good owner statement should look like in theory, I'm going to show you a real one. This is an owner statement we produce for our training environment, so to be fair, not a real one, but real enough, because this mirrors what we produce for our clients. I'm going to walk through each section, explain what's in it, why it's there, and tell you what matters to your homeowners. If you're currently producing owner statements and wondering whether they're hitting the right marks, or if you've never seen a professionally structured statement before, this video is for you. At the end, I'll drop a link where you can download the sample for free and use it as a reference for your own statements. So let's get into it. All right, the first thing you see at the very top of the statement is the header. Here you can have your property manager name, the property address, your company, reporting period, which is September 2025 here. This is basic, but it's important. If you're managing 10, 20, 30 properties, your owner statements need to be immediately identifiable. The homeowner should open it and know in 2 seconds exactly which property this is for and what period it covers. We don't have one here, but get your logo up there as well. I see statements all the time that just say monthly statement, February. No property address, no company name, nothing like that. The owner has to dig through the document just to orient themselves, and it gets more confusing if they have multiple properties with you. Again, our goal here throughout this whole video is really to make it easy for the homeowner, because the easier it is for them, the easier it is for you. Getting this right is going to build that consistency and is going to cut down on that friction. On the other side of the header, you've got that summary box. So here's a snapshot. The owner can look at this box and in 10 seconds understand exactly what happened this month, what came in, what went out, and most importantly, what they're being paid. Here, the balance forward shows 0, which means nothing carried forward from the prior month. And if it was paid out. That's intentional. It means the trust account for this property starts clean, the monthly activity flows through, and the full balance is paid out to the homeowner. Nothing gets carried over, left over. This is how it should work, although, of course, as with anything in life, there are exceptions. If you have a reserve balance, for instance, if you're holding $500 in reserve, you would see that in the starting and ending reserve amount, ensuring you didn't pay it out and the owner knows their money is accounted for. If the prior month was negative, where expenses exceeded revenue and you didn't collect that, your negative balance would roll forward here, reducing this month's payout. Now we get into the revenue details. This is the section most homeowners spend the most time on and the section where most statements fall short. We have quite a few reservations listed here for the month, which is great. The homeowner can see how active the homeowner was and how the property went. So let's walk through the columns. First, we've got a confirmation code. This is the booking reference from the platform. This really just gives you that credibility. Here's the actual confirmation code from the stay. If an owner ever questions a reservation, you can trace it immediately with this code. Next up, we've got our reservation dates, our start date, end date, and the number of nights. This provides context, but it's also helpful when the owner needs to file taxes and track the number of nights rented for the year. Again, much easier to get this right during the year than to try to figure out at the end of the year. Management commission percentage, next up here. So this is the commission rate applied to each reservation. You can see here every stay on the statement is at 20%. Now, we typically don't show this column on the homeowner side, but when you're reviewing it, it makes it incredibly easy to see your commission is correct on every stay, which is why we're showing it in this video. It really makes that review process a lot smoother. Next up, we've got rents. This is the accommodation fare per stay. This is what the guest is paying to rent the house. Next up, other guest fees. So column here is mostly zeros, but if you look at the reservation on the 26th, that one shows $100 in other guest fees. These are typically pet fees, early check-ins, or late checkouts, things that you charge commission on. While you can break each one of those out into its own column, you need to walk a fine line between providing enough information and making the statement look too busy. So here we've decided to combine all those into one. Next column, net commissionable revenue. So this is going to be your rent plus your other guest fees. This is going to form the base that management commission. Next up, we've got our channel fees. So this is the platform's cut. These are all negative numbers, and these are going to be both the OTA percentage, which is Airbnb, Vrbo, Booking.com, as well as the processing fee from Stripe or Guesty Pay. So here we've got management commissions. This is your fee, which is calculated at 20% of that commissionable revenue. Every single one is visible, traceable, tied to a specific booking. It's a negative amount because it's reducing the amount paid out to the homeowner. So here we've got our total commission of the $779.52. Next up, 2 more columns, non-commissionable revenue and taxes. Both these columns are 0 across the board for this month. Most property managers keep the tax paid on behalf of the homeowner, but if they pass it back, it would show up here. Last but not least, we've got net revenue. This is the final number per reservation after all those other items are accounted for. We've got our rent plus our other fees, minus channel fees, minus management commission, plus the other revenue and taxes. At the bottom, the total adds up to a net revenue of $29.26.40. Now, here's something worth noting. The net revenue total is that $29.26, but the ending balance in the summary box is $21.43.45. So there's a gap there, and that gap is accounted for in these next 2 sections. So we've got a couple different expense sections this month. First up, operating and maintenance expenses. Here you've got the expenses itemized for the month, so the owner knows what's going on. Much better than a lump sum of operating expenses that we see on some statements. Look at how these are listed. We've got our description, we've got a date, category, and an amount. That category helps the homeowner come tax time, or if they keep their own books and want to track different expense buckets. This level of specificity is what separates professional property management from amateurs. Your owner does not want to call to ask what a $235.90 charge is. They want to see pool cleaning and move on with their day. Be specific, every expense, every month. The next section is where the tech fee lives. Here we've got a monthly tech fee of $150. 2 things I want to highlight here. First, tech fee is clearly labeled, clearly separated from the owner's operating expenses. The owner can see exactly what you charged. Second, listed in its own section. It's not buried within the management commission or lumped in with anything else. If you charge a tech fee, it really should appear as its own line item in its own section, make it easier for everyone to identify. So we check the math. We've got our net revenue, the $29.26, minus our operating expenses of $632.95, minus our tech fee of $150. It's going to get us to our ending balance, which is the payout amount of the $21.43.45, which we can see up here, and it matches the summary box exactly. Here, the homeowner can follow the math from the net revenue line all the way to the ending balance without calling you. That is the goal. If they can do that, the statements are working. So, in summary, the statement has an itemized reservation with confirmation codes, dates, and nights. An owner can cross-reference any line against their own records or the platform itself. Commission is visible and consistent, 20% on every stay. No guesswork about what you took or how it was calculated. Then you've got specific expenses, vacuum replacement, service call, replace pillows, deep clean, not miscellaneous or maintenance. Tech fee stands alone in its own section. Homeowner knows exactly what it is. And the math is transparent. You can follow every number from the top of the statement to the ending balance at the bottom. Before I wrap up, a few common mistakes I see in owner statements this one avoids. Vague expense descriptions, we talked about this one already. Again, if your statement says maintenance, $500, your homeowner is calling you. Be specific here. Next, burying the management fee. If your commission is hard to find or hard to calculate, owners might assume you have something to hide. You want to put that thing front and center, clearly labeled, easy to calculate. Next, not showing those platform fees. Some managers absorb the channel fee and show only net accommodation revenue. That's fine, but it's going to cause issues at year end when your 1099 shows gross revenue and the homeowner statement that only shows net revenue, and they have no way to tie that to the statement. So save yourself the year-end headache, break out the channel fee from the beginning, and give them something to tie to for gross revenue. Next, inconsistent formatting. So if the statements are looking different from last month, homeowners are going to notice. Really, you want that same format every month, no exceptions. All right, so that was the full walkthrough of a real STR homeowner statement. The sample I just walked through is available as a free download on our website. The link is in the description. Download it, use it as a reference, and compare it against what you're currently sending your homeowners. if there's a gap that's worth closing before summer arrives, and your owners are watching their peak season numbers more closely than any other time of year. If you want help building a statement process that works cleanly at your scale, reach out to us at keystonebookkeepers.com. We're happy to take a look. If this was useful, hit like and subscribe. We put out practical STR finance content every week. See you in the next one.